Hello, hello, beautiful people. This is Brandon Tobias, host of the Modern Soul and Stars podcast, and this is a combination episode that will become both a YouTube video and a podcast episode. We're going to try it out and see how it goes so I can save some time and effort. My goal here in the next 30 days, actually, is to have 30 videos and 30 podcast episodes out, one per day in the next 30 days. So I am going on a massive ramp-up process to my content. And those of you guys who want to keep up, be sure to subscribe because there's going to be a lot more stuff coming your way straight from my dome. So I hope you're excited and prepared for that. If you guys are on YouTube, you get to see my shower hair and my messy room in the background. If you're on my podcast, rest assured you're not missing too much. So but if you did want to catch my YouTube channel for my podcast, my channel is called Ancient Science for the Modern Soul. And if you want to catch my podcast from my YouTube channel, my podcast is called the Modern Soul and Stars podcast. I know, confusing names, but you got to do what you got to do. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is going to be all about how to optimize your day and your reality in terms of maximizing synchronicities and clarity and opportunities that are in alignment with where you want to go, ideally, your soul's destiny. Right? How do you optimize your day to receive these types of opportunities on a daily basis versus just going throughout your day, working, hard and or struggling and or being confused about where you should go and what you should do. And real quick before we get into the actual how, the why behind this is because, I'm a breathwork and Reiki practitioner. And I've been doing it now for about two and a half years, I believe, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit longer. And, it took me a long time, 20 plus years, to get into stuff, what I call quote unquote spiritual stuff like this, where I'm studying astrology and Reiki energy. I'm practicing on people and coworkers, and they're freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm feeling and hearing stuff. And along the way, what I realized is that the more I started doing these types of things to myself, the more clear my reality became for me, the more pure my reality became for me, and the more easy my reality came for me. I started having days at work where things would just happen, like out of nowhere, in the most easy of ways that were beneficial to me and felt good and helped to put me back onto my path or give me clarity about my path in some way. And it became really obvious to me that this was happening. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? And it turns out during that period, I was doing, a combination of Reiki energy work on myself and breath work every single morning. And this is after I got Reiki certified, obviously. And really quickly about, before I go any further, my journey with that is really fascinating. Reiki was my first ever kind of indoctrination into spirituality or energy work or things like that. And YouTube viewers, I apologize. I'm really struggling with my hair. But Reiki was my first spiritual practice that I ever got into. And I was very skeptical, by the way, of even doing it. I always thought Reiki was some woo-woo bullshit, placebo kind of thing. But I ended up actually getting invited to get certified. I started going to a couple meditation classes at this nearby, meditation studio called Ceremony Meditation, right on Rose in Venice, California. Shout out to them; they changed my life. And one of the days, the head instructor was like, "You should come get Reiki certified. You've been curious about it. Come check it out. It's a few $100. Come, we'll teach you. We'll indoctrinate, we'll integrate the energy inside of you." And I go, well, what do I have to lose, And I go get this certification, and, what they do is they activate the energy inside of you in the certification process. It's an actual, activation of the Reiki energy inside of you that has to happen. And I kid you not, during this ceremony, when it was going on, for the first time in my life, I heard like my guides talking to me in my head, saying that, the first two things they said, it was so funny, was, "We've been waiting for you. What took you so long?" And then, "Stop eating meat for a little while and stop drinking alcohol." And I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. I'm like a paleo keto addict at this point. I'm just like no carb, all grass-fed beef and steak, just very much biohacked out. and I heard these voices and I go, well, that's not my voice. And I go, well, what is that? And I asked the teacher, and she's like, wow, like that was quick. You really picked up their your guide's energy. And I was very skeptical, so I didn't believe it, and I kept eating meat and drinking alcohol occasionally and whatever. But anyways, that was the start of it, and ever since that point, that kept getting more and more strong. My body started changing, and I started practicing the Reiki. I could feel the Reiki coming out of my hands on myself, and again, my reality became more and more clear, more and more easy, more and more synchronistic the more I did it, and things just really came into place in the best of ways. Okay, sorry, YouTube video was getting blurry. So I say all this to say, okay, how do you optimize your day to make this happen? Because once this starts happening, guys, you are on a journey to discover your inner self, your true soul, who you are. Your gifts will start coming out. Life will start to take you to places you never imagined were possible, and everything will start to flow. All right. Now, I have a couple recommendations, and obviously the reason why you'd want to try this is because, who doesn't want a clear, easy, flowing, abundant life? Or they wake up every day and life just kind of comes to them. Like, that's the opportunity you have here if you can do the things that I'm talking about, which is going to be to clear your energy, release stagnant or stuck or blocked energy in your system, in your auric field, and then be able to attract the proper environments or stimuli that you want or need on a deep level. Okay. And before I even get to that, I have to talk about how briefly just the law of attraction works, so it makes sense for you guys, right? To really ground this down. All of us have, an auric field, all right? An electromagnetic field that emanates from our heart, okay? Our heart on out. And it's actually been measured. I believe it's somewhere between 7 and 9 feet in diameter. Don't quote me on that, but there is a metric in science that states this. This auric field, and it could actually be indefinite, is what some scientists say. It could extend, indefinitely, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, everyone has this field. You can actually see it, measure it, see the colors within it. We have, scientific equipment to actually do this. But what this is actually our energetic, a representation of our energetic field, the health of our energetic field, and the symptoms that are lying within it, whether it be to sickness, fear, anxiety, love, wealth, cocky, whatever it is, right, that's in there that's problematic or beneficial, is then reflected out into the world, right? And how it works is, because this is an electromagnetic field, all right, this is actually an attractor field. It's an attractor field, meaning your energy is constantly attracting the like-minded energetic fields back to it. The similar electromagnetic frequencies that you are vibrating at and your auric field is vibrating at goes out into the world and attracts back to it exactly what is the same frequency. Like attracts like. Okay? This is important because if we wake up and we've just had a bunch of, let's just say, as an example, right? We woke up last night, we had a bunch of alcohol, we had shitty processed foods, we're having negative paranoid thoughts, as an example. We wake up, we just complain, we check our Facebook, and we get up. How do you think the quality of our electromagnetic energetic field is going to be? It's going to be shitty. It's going to be very dark. It's going to be very paranoid. It's going to be very sick, right? And these are exactly the types of experiences or feelings that you will be attracting back to you during that day, right? Or as long as you have that. And you will just get accustomed to that, being like, oh, well, my life, that's just how my life works. I have to constantly work really hard to work through all the shit that comes into my life, without realizing that it's actually you that's causing those things to be like that. Drinking some water here. So, how do we fix this? Well, there's 3 things I recommend. Okay, there's 2 right now that I'm thinking on my head. There's 1 more that'll come to me. The first one is called breath work. Now, breath work is something every single person out there can do, which is why I mention it first. And all breath work is utilizing the breath to intake oxygen, the element of air, into your body as much as you possibly can. Super hypersaturate your body, your system, with the element of air. And air, what it does is it increases your ability to circulate, dispose and detoxify any toxins in your body, and provide clarity or new insight, right, or new life, new inspiration into your system. So it's the number 1 way that you can, in the first thing in the morning, right, let go and shed off any old, restricted, blocked energies that are in your system from the days or weeks before, including thoughts, emotions, right, physical ailments, things like that, and then receive new, fresh life that is out of a higher energetic frequency. Quite simply, sorry podcast listeners, but you'll have to go check my YouTube channel. Quite simply, it's called transformational breathwork. I am a breathwork practitioner. All you do, the whole concept, right, if you take more air in than you let out. More oxygen in than carbon dioxide you let out. Okay, and you do this for about 30 to 40 minutes each morning. And what that looks like, okay, you can put your hand over your lower belly, other hand over your heart, and you go 2 breaths in. Okay. Now, that wasn't the best example because I'm a little stiff. I'm trying to record this video and be in the mic and all that. But essentially, it's 1 breath into the lowest part of your belly. Try to expand your belly out as far as possible. 1 breath into your chest, right, without letting out in between. So, right, and then you let out just slightly. So it's almost like a relief breath. Okay, now Don't just use this video or podcast. Go actually Google transformational breathwork and look how it's done. You can also try Wim Hof breathing. There's a whole bunch of breathwork techniques out there. You just got to choose one. They all work pretty much the same. All right, but they all provide the same result. Don't use this video as an instructional video. That's not the purpose of this video. So that's 1. And again, after you do this for about 30 to 40 minutes, your energy, your clarity, your mind, your physical vitality, your emotional well-being will all be transformed. It will all be different. And you might even go through an intense emotional cleansing experience, is what the purpose of this really is. But the more you do this, the more you cleanse, the more you release, the more you allow new energy in to flow. And as a result, your day will actually be different than it usually is. Trust me on this. Just try it once and you'll see. Second technique I'd recommend, guys, I'd recommend is, if you have ever been curious about or do energy work yourself or want to do energy work, Reiki is fantastic, life-changing actually, and this is coming from someone who is very scientifically minded, typically skeptical, was very skeptical of anything woo-woo-ish, been converted into woo-woo believer. But, if you have any opportunity to get Reiki certified, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't, okay, we all have this ability to utilize and feel and perceive energy. Okay, I did even before I was Reiki certified. I just didn't realize it. And all you can do, the Taoists actually would do this. There's actually an exercise during Qigong exercises, actually. And what you do is you take both hands and you literally just start from the back or top of your head, about 2 or 3 feet out from where your body is. And you just scan, you just go all the way down. I'm stopping here because I can feel blockage right here in my head, right? You use your hands and you just go all the way down, right? All the way down, and whoa, there's a spot, right? And you can see my body start shaking. That's because my energy is so crazy right now. But you will start to feel, if you pick up on it and you get in tune with it, different blockages around different areas of your body. Okay, I've got one right around the top of my heart here. I've been going through a lot of emotional turmoil. So that's the second method. All right, so I highly recommend first thing in the morning, right? Take your hands, go right over your body, slide it all the way down, right? And start to feel, and wherever you feel a spot that's either a little bit warm, a little bit cold, a little bit tingly, a little bit stagnant or stuck or heavy, you start to perceive this through your hands, okay? Or you'll get a feeling or a flash or some type of insight in your body. Then keep your hands there, all right? Keep your hands over that spot and focus inwardly in that spot. Don't focus on pushing energy out your hands. Just focus inwardly in that spot where your hands are telling you that's at. Okay? That's the trick. And you do this for 5 to 10 minutes down your entire body first thing in the morning. It helps you clear out all these blockages. Your energy is now flowing and open and free. And again, by doing this, you will allow yourselves to attract the proper circumstances that are actually beneficial and easy and abundant for you much more easily in your life. Okay, life will flow a lot better. All right, well, I promised you 3 different exercises. Okay. And I'm trying to think of the best one because there's obviously a ton out there. The last one I'd say that will have the most similar and beneficial effect would be meditation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Meditation, Brandon, I've heard of meditation. It doesn't work for me. I close my eyes for 10 minutes and, I'm the same person. Yeah, I know. I know. I've been there, and I actually was in a place where I was not a believer in meditation, and I thought that it was a waste of time and my energy, and I just stopped doing it. This is back 4 or 5 years ago when I first started trying it. Now, there's a very specific type of meditation that I'm talking about here, okay? Now, the practice quite simply is, all right, it's a practice of presence within mind and body. And in that practice, all right, and all this literally is getting up out of bed, sitting down on the floor, crossing legs or getting comfortable, right, closing teeth, tongue could be on the roof of the mouth, okay, or even the bottom of the mouth if you want to point your consciousness down. And what you do is you just breathe in 5 seconds. You can hold for 5 seconds and then breathe out for 5 seconds. It's called box breathing. Or sometimes I just do 5 in and 5 out. 5 in and 5 out. Now what this does is it immediately synchronizes the brain and the heart, the mind and the heart. They get into something called mind or brain and heart coherence. And what happens in this state is you are instantly putting your system into parasympathetic, the rest and digest, calm, easy, relaxed, not stressed state. And you are optimizing your ability to be present both in your internal and external environment. And when you do this, what happens is any emotions, any events, any dreams, any memories that want to come up from your body or mind that are keeping your energetic field in disharmony will come to the surface. Okay? So, as an example, let's say that I go into meditation. I'm breathing in, breathing out. That wasn't 5 seconds, but whatever. I'm impatient. And all of a sudden, I start to feel or hear, experience, I don't know, a conflict, a fight I had with a family member the other day, right? Let's just say that comes to mind. Now, because I'm present in practicing breathing despite that memory coming up, now I can take it one step further and be present with the emotions. This is the key, guys, the emotions behind that memory. Okay, because chances are your subconscious mind won't bring these thoughts up, all right, that are relevant, like relevant, consistent thoughts, persistent thoughts, actually, unless they have some emotional knot or tie within your body, right? So you can go one step further and feel the emotion of this situation. Feel that emotion fully within your meditation, whether it's pain, anger, betrayal, sadness, hurt, forget, whatever it is. Feel that emotion fully, feel it in your body, and feel it until you can't feel it anymore. And you will actually feel your body release something, and it'll get lighter, actually. Your body will feel lighter, your body will feel more aligned, it'll feel more clear, and you'll go, whoa, I didn't know I was holding on to that emotion. Thank you, body. I'm letting that go. Okay? And you just keep doing this. You just keep doing this. Eventually, you'll just know what your body feels like when it's weighed down with emotional baggage. That's what I call emotional baggage. And it's all the same thing, guys. You can get rid of this through Reiki, through breath work, through meditation, through exercise sometimes. You just have to be aware it's happening and the benefits of doing it on an energetic level. Okay. So those are my top 3 ways to clear your energy every single morning in order to have the most synchronistic days, the easiest days, the most abundant days, and the most aligned days towards your soul's destiny. If you do this consistently, guys, try it for 30 days consistently, life will come to you in a much more harmonious way that seems easy and fun and happy, and it really won't be as much of a chore or hard work as it once seemed for you. So I highly, highly recommend you try this out. Okay. Now, if you're kind of lost and not sure where to start or don't really want to do this on your own, I'd recommend starting with like a breathwork session by someone, by a breathwork practitioner, or even a Reiki session with someone, or a trained meditator to take you through a guided meditation. This is where I started. This is where I felt, oh wow, this feels different. I like this, until before I started doing it on myself. And I'd actually recommend trying that first before you go into trying to do it yourself, just because it's easier sometimes to have an expert or a guru show you how it's done, so it can inspire you to move forward in that particular way. So again, to sum up, guys, life doesn't have to be as hard. There are ways you can optimize your day on an emotional or spiritual level, an energetic level, to make life flow a lot easier, have much more synchronicity, and much more ease towards going towards your soul destiny or whatever you intended for that day. Automatically, life will kind of take over, and you'll be more aware that it's happening, and thus feel the rewards of it. Those top 3 ways, in my opinion, are doing breath work, right? What I call transformational breath work, taking in more O2 than letting go of carbon dioxide for about 30 to 40 minutes. Number 2 would be Reiki, or energy scans with your both hands down across the front of your body, starting from the top of your head, sensing any energetic disturbances, holding your hand in consciousness in that spot, and feeling whatever that is release or dissolve. And then the third one would be meditation with presence and 5-second in and 5-second out breathing, and feeling any of the emotions arise from your body, and thus feeling them fully and letting them go. Again, if you do this for even 10 to 15 to 20 minutes total every morning, with the exception of breath work, I would recommend 30 to 40 at least, you will have a very different day, and I promise you won't want to go back to the old way. And you'll know if you don't do it, right? If you have some days where you forget to do it, that life will be like, oh, all right, I'm back and dragging it, like where's the synchronicities? Where's the fun? Where's the clarity? You'll want to keep doing it, and your life will be forever changed. So anyways, that's all I got for this one. I hope this helps. If you guys do want a breathwork or Reiki session with me, or an astrology consultation where I go deep into your natal chart, tell you about your soul's destiny, your purpose, your relationships, your mission here on Earth, feel free to go to my website, brandontobias.com. I've got the booking calendar there. You can just book a consultation or an appointment. You can also go to my Linktree link on Instagram, br_Tobias, or Facebook, and I've got everything there, my website, podcast, blog, and booking calendar there. If if you guys want to set up an appointment or just learn more about this, I'm happy to share this with you or give you a consultation and go from there. So anyways, hope this helps. Let me know what you guys think. Please be sure to subscribe, leave this video a like, a comment. It really helps these YouTube videos circulate throughout the rest of YouTube and gain more followers and increase our tribe, which is the overall goal here, so we can help as many people as possible. Again, look out for the next 30 days. I'm going to be pumping out content like crazy, so be sure to ring that notification bell as well so you can be notified as soon as that content is out. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next one. Take care for now.